Hey guys, welcome back to the Nostalgic Neighborhood. Today we're with Kyle at Forever Rad, which is a custom motorcycle shop in the Missouri area, so he's part of our neighborhood here. We also got Matt Picker from the Bones Brigade Audio Show. You guys might remember the video we did of the basement skate shop. But yeah, Kyle grew up with skateboarding. Skateboarding is your background, and you have this amazing collection of boards along with the bikes. So we're here to have Kyle kind of share some of that with us. So yeah.
Let's check it out.
Okay, so Kyle, you obviously have a bunch of motorcycles in here. I don't know a whole lot about motorcycles myself, but I'm blown away. Maybe we could start with the skate-inspired ones.
Yeah, sure.
You could show us kind of your connection between skateboarding and motorcycles, and then we'll get into the skate decks that you've got. These amazing, just incredible collection back here.
Cool. Basically, we build custom motorcycles here, and we like to throw our kind of flair into what we think is cool, what we think is rad. So skateboarding and motorcycles, they always kind of go hand in hand, but it's not common to make a bike kind of have a skate theme. And so we like to stand out in the crowd and do things a little bit differently. So these are a few bikes that we've built that do have a little bit of a skate theme. Stripped down, raw, aggressive, and then obviously like the tank graphics have a nod to some pretty legendary skateboard graphic.
So for me and my generation, this to me is Christian Hosoi.
Right.
But to you, this is?
To me, it's the Muska. I'm just, you know, you guys, you have a generation on me. So when I started skateboarding, the Muska was everything. He was just coming up. He was getting huge right at the beginning of shorties. And then he bought an Escalade and everything went crazy.
Went crazy from there, yeah.
So my first skateboard was an OG Silhouette Muska. It was a yellow tail, real skinny because I was a little short dude. And that was my first board. Who forgets their first skateboard?
Nobody does.
And so he was my favorite skateboarder growing up. He always went the biggest. He always had just enough, I don't care about what anybody thinks, like doing crooked grinds with a freaking boombox on his shoulder. Doesn't get any more. To me, that was as cool as it could get. So I've just been hooked on that ever since. But of course, when you talk the Hosoi stuff, respecting peers and always remembering where we're at and why how we got there, Hosoi is one of the most legendary skateboarders of all time. So to me, I think it's cool that it can mean something to different people.
Yeah, it connects both generations. That is so cool. And you have a huge Muska collection. We'll go over to that in a minute. But I'm really blown away by this Keith Meek Ripper over here. So maybe you could tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I always loved Muska and shorties and everything, but Santa Cruz, to me, I didn't grow up in California, but I grew up wanting to be in California. Just reading Thrasher and Transworld and all that kind of stuff. Watching skate videos, it was all in California. So Santa Cruz to me was always like the mecca of skateboarding. And the Slasher Keith Meek graphic is the most iconic.
Yeah, it's so
I like it. I love it because it's gnarly. It's like Rat Fink. It meets, like Rat Fink meets gangster with a sword. And it's just one of the coolest, most iconic logos of all time. Our spin on that is we have a lot of French Bulldogs. And I wanted to turn the Slasher into a French Bulldog. So we did. It's got our logo on here. We switched up the blade, gave him you know, a Frenchie snout with a gold tooth, some Frenchie ears. He's got a little fart cloud. His Frenchies are super gassy. So it's just kind of our spin. We make stickers and banners and stuff like that, and it's a cool way for us to represent our skateboarding roots in the motorcycle industry.
It's amazing. And the quality of the paint on here is just
don't forget
insane.
Don't forget the dash, because I mean, it's pretty
shred until you're dead.
Vans grips.
Sick.
And you know, that's where the checkerboard comes from too, is I mean, it's all, but yeah, we try as much as we can wherever possible and just keep it gnarly and unique, basically. So actually, we've done 4. We're about to do a 5th, and then hopefully, you know, we build a lot of these bikes for customers. So it's kind of hard to get a customer to agree to be like, hey, let's throw some skateboard
unless
stuff
they were into it themselves.
Exactly. But we want to try and keep doing that, and it, you know, it's what we're about. It's who we are. So I have a buddy who does custom painting in Georgia, and his name is Motelica.
Oh, I've seen his stuff on Instagram.
He does
all of
custom
those
painted boards. Yeah.
He does those amazing Powell boards,
Yeah.
dude.
So I have a few. I've hired Mo. He's become a good friend. I have a few.
Oh,
of
that's
his
amazing.
boards hanging
Yeah, I
up.
saw a couple like the Guadalupe with the red with the
Yep.
yeah, in that bottom. Yeah, there's several of them that have that
Yeah,
metallic.
I have 4 of them over there now. But it's just kind of a cool thing to do. Just have.
Yeah,
something.
you're just like flying under the radar over here. Like I know
Yeah.
in the motorcycle world, you're not flying under the
very
radar.
well known in the motorcycle
Yeah.
industry. That's why I thought it'd be really cool to do a video with you guys because everything is based around skateboarding because I am a skateboarder. I'm really stoked to be able to get some other people seeing some of this stuff.
Yeah.
And it does blow a lot of minds and inspire a lot of people. And I love that about it.
Yeah.
You know?
It is amazing. Similar with Matt in the basement skate shop. Like,
Exactly.
yeah, I mean that may have been like maybe what caught your.
It wasn't the
Radar?
first video that I seen of yours, but when I seen the first video, I was like, whoa, this dude's in St. Louis, and these
yeah.
videos are cool. I'm going to keep watching. So I went down the rabbit hole and watched like 4 hours of it, came
Dude,
across yours, and I was like, dude, I got to meet that guy. Like, it's just the basement, but like the passion behind it of, I want to feel like I'm walking into the skate shop I grew up in. Dude,
Yeah.
that's exactly what I'm doing.
Yeah.
You know, I don't have like a counter full of bearings and trucks and wheels, but like it's the same thing. I could.
But you could, yeah.
Plenty of space. You know, we
Yeah.
could do that upstairs if we wanted to.
So obviously, out of all the skateboards you have in here, the most are the Jason Jessee.
Definitely.
So what's your connection, like the story? Like what?
I think the whole thing with Jason Jessee to me is he's always been like that one dude that never conformed and didn't care. He's just a nut job, totally weird, but everybody loves him for that.
Right.
And aside from everything that happened with him in like 15, 16 and getting canceled and everything, he's always been a hot rod guy and a chopper guy. And so have I. So it's skateboards, hot rods, motorcycles. I was hooked, and I've always loved the Guadalupe deck just because it has that Latin flavor and it's spiritual, but it's also pretty gangster at the same time. So I got hooked on Guadalupes, and I made it my mission to own every single one possible.
So have you reached your goal, or you think there's still a couple of grails?
I'm real close. I think the only grails I'm missing are actual 1989 OG Guadalupes.
Okay.
I have passed on a few of them because they're up in the 1500 range. I will get them, but that will be like a shadow box type situation.
Sure, yeah.
I think there's 2 or 3 colorways from 89, and I will get there when I feel like today's a good day to drop $3,000.
Yeah.
They're also not easy to find, so you got to keep tabs on them. But aside from the OG, I absolutely have every single one, and I have a few one-offs that no one has. I have a few that are custom painted.
So you mentioned earlier that some of these were like not necessarily bootlegs, but kind of like the NHS employees after hours.
The V8s. Yeah, a lot of the V8s were like after hours, sold after hours decks. I got a decent handful of the V8s from a guy in Santa Cruz who he claims his best friend worked at NHS. And I won't drop any names, of course, but he's like, yeah, my buddy was having a garage sale and he had like 6 of these weird looking V8s. So I bought them from him. And he hit me up and he actually told me that his son was going through, a young kid, teenager, was going through a cancer type situation and he needed to make money. So he was selling decks to try and make money. And at that point I was like, dude, I don't even care what they cost. I want to help you.
Yeah,
and
it's a win-win, yeah.
Well, he had considered me because he's seen what I had as a collection.
Okay.
And he reached out and he's like, I don't want to let these go, but I really need the money. We need it for medical stuff. You deserve to have these decks. And I said, bro, whatever you want, sold. I'll pay you whatever you want. I don't care. And we still talk to this day.
That's awesome.
You know, I don't buy boards from him anymore because I think he's sold out of his boards. But I at least felt really cool or really good about knowing.
Yeah, I love the story behind it.
He wasn't just flipping boards. It was going for, I'm a father, I would do the same thing.
Yeah. So what's your favorite of all the Jason Jessees that you have hanging up?
As far as Guadalupes go, yeah, it's probably the 30th anniversary boards and then the custom painted ones, just because they're unique. The V8 stuff though, by far that red one on the bottom. It's red on red. It's a one-off. I bought it direct from Jason. The backside of it is signed to me, and it's got a little bit of a story to it written on the backside of it. Just ridiculously cool.
Yeah.
So
it is so subtle, the coloring. And
yeah.
Oh, and you've got the snowboard too. Dang.
Oh, that snowboard is super hard to find too.
And then you've got the Muskas over here. So we were chatting a little bit earlier. So he was like one of your favorite skaters when you first got skating.
Yeah, he was definitely like the dude I looked up to when I first started skating. So there's nothing, to me, the most iconic board would be like the Silhouette board with the red tail. And then the Rising Sun followed. And of course the Muscalade mixed in there. And so I have worked very hard to own all of them. Pretty unique thing, like the Muscalades here. Another unique story. I have 5 of the OGs right there, starting in the silver one moving left, and they're hung up by size because each board's a different width and a different length.
A little wider.
Yep. And then I have like OG Rising Suns on the right. I set them up with trucks and wheels just so it kind of like shows, hey, these are the originals.
Right.
But all the rest of them are reissues. The custom painted ones are really cool though, because he did a series of 50 and each one was a different paint job, a different color.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, I have 5 of 50 right now. So there's 45 waiting for me. People do own them. A lot of times they're listed for $800 and I don't really want to pay that. So
yeah,
I stay a little bit diligent on that too, but you know, it just, not every day is a good day to spend $800 on a skateboard. So, and then there's a couple OGs over here too. There's, of course, the wrestling series, the NWB series with the Ghetto Thugsta board right there. Yeah. That's an OG as well. So.
Yeah, this is, like we were chatting, so I just turned 50. So most of my skating was mid 80s up till early 90s. And then I've just skated off and on since 2000 or so. Yeah, so Muska was definitely after I was kind of done. That was when I was probably in college and on to other things. But
he really got big in like the late 90s. Yeah. Right when Shorties popped off, he took over. I mean, Fulfill the Dream came out. And the video, and there's a Fulfill the Dream board hanging up there. I think it came out this year, but that commemorates the 25th anniversary. So to put it in perspective, I'm 39. I started when I was like 12. So I've been on a board for over 25 years. But Fulfill the Dream, that was my video, and it was Muska's first huge banger of a part with the Ghetto Blaster on his shoulders, doing crooked grinds and tail slides. And here I am, 25 years
That's amazing.
later.
Show us a little bit more if you don't mind.
Yeah, sure.
Actually, real quick.
Okay, yeah, let's hear.
Ask something. So I noticed that you have probably the sickest collection of Jason Jessees that I've ever seen.
Right. Thank you.
But there's not a single Neptune in the collection.
Right.
Which is, it's strange to think that you could have such an amazing collection of Jason Jessees without what I would consider to be like his most well-known.
Absolutely.
Is there something to that?
There is, yeah. So the Neptune, like I know the V8 was his first pro model in 1989, right? But growing up as a hot rodder and a custom car guy, the V8 deck speaks to me more because it's hot rod.
Yeah.
Obviously, it even says V8 on it. With Neptune and Sun God.
Or Sun God, actually.
Yeah, Neptune and Sun God was like just a little bit before my time. And while I do love those boards, there's a lot of Guadalupes you guys have probably never seen before.
Absolutely.
I definitely own them all. If not, I'm like this freaking close.
Yeah.
So I'm aware of how many Neptunes and Sun Gods are out there.
It's almost like you don't want to bite into the apple.
I'm not even going to start.
Yeah.
Until I'm ready, until the money's right, the time is right. This Guadalupe collection, I'm on year 10 right now.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't come quick, easy, or cheap. So to start the Neptune thing or the Sun God thing, it's a ton.
I know. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And as you can tell, like Muska stuff, Jason Jessee, other skateboards, motorcycles. I have a very addictive personality.
Yeah.
Once I start, I'm not going to stop.
Yeah.
But I also know my limits. So I just said, you know what? Not doing it. I've passed on enough.
That's totally legit reason. Yeah. There had to be a reason, right?
No, I love that question.
Yeah.
Nobody asked me that.
Yeah.
Nobody. Most people that come in here, they don't know skateboarding like we do. So they see these and they're like, oh, do you make those? Do you paint those? And I'm like, no, I collect them. And those people have no idea what a Neptune or a Sun God is.
Well, and it's cool because, let's face it, most people, if they collect Jason Jessee boards, they don't collect the Guadalupe or the Hot Rod. They collect the Neptune and the Sun God.
Maybe that's true. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, just in terms of like old school collecting.
For sure. Yeah.
So I think it's awesome that you've taken a completely unique one. You know what I mean? You know what you like.
Yeah. It's the one graph, the one or two graphics that always kind of spoke out to me.
Yeah.
So it fits the vibe of the shop with choppers and motorcycles and hot rods and just the kind of the custom culture life, more so than a Neptune or a Sun God does. So that's kind of the story behind it. It is what it is.
Very cool. Yeah, I love it.
I had to know.
Yeah, it's funny. Like,
can I ask about this Guadalupe statue you have over here?
Yeah.
Did somebody make that for you?
No, Jason did a run of these things.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like 100 of them. So that's 111. So this is 11 of 111.
Wow.
Oh,
so
look at this.
so they did a colored one, and then they did. This is actually through Brick's brand, which is like one of his spin-off brands. And
That
then
is incredible, man.
this one's 44 of 100. It might be 111, but. And then this is a custom painted bowling pin, just to.
And you had that made?
Yeah, just to kind of go with the theme.
Your passion for the Guadalupe is not rivaled.
It goes deeper. Come this way. This is a seat that I had made by a local guy in St. Louis for one of my choppers. This is an actual Jason Jessee graphic here. There's Jason. Pray for me.
Yeah.
So I ran that. I actually had two of those made in different colors. And when I sold the bikes, I was like, hey, I'll sell you the bike, but you ain't getting my seat. No, it's not happening. So I got one. So.
Incredible, dude.
And then over here I have this. This is a one-off kind of painted board that Jason did too. He did right on the top of that one, and I don't want to screw this up, but I think what it says is that it was Ronnie Sandoval's skateboard, and then he painted it. So that's a one-off thing that he sent me too.
amazing.
So
cool. What's the story with this flash?
this is a dude out of Nashville who's a tattoo artist. And I seen it at a tattoo convention, and of course I was like, tattoos, that fits into the addictive thing like I'm talking about. I'm a very heavily tattooed human being, so I try to collect a lot of tattoo things as well.
I love it, dude.
Each one of them though is like, come on, the Shorty's Dodo,
The Dodo, yeah.
Yeah.
Toy Machine and Powell and
The McGill, the Ripper,
yeah, it's a little bit of all of it. Super cool.
That's awesome. Oh man, that's awesome too. The Ray Bones.
Yeah.
I hate to go back and say this, but probably my favorite one is the orange one up top. Now that I'm looking at it, it's Jesus riding a panhead Harley.
I love it.
This is as Jason Jessee as it comes.
Yeah.
And I think maybe just because we're standing here, you missed a bunch of them still, because there's a whole other side.
Oh no.
These are all the more motorcycle related Jason Jessee boards right here. These are all some pretty rare boys here too. Jason Jessee actually painted this black and white one here. So that's a one of one. And then there's like some David Mann inspired stuff. And then all the rest of these actual photos, those are all done through him in the Driven. So most of those are one of 100 too. So super rare.
Man, everywhere you look is some new thing.
Well, yeah, and like that's what I was saying when we first started. Most of the stuff I collect is like rare, valuable, hard to find, but to the core, like represents what I'm about. So I'm not going to a skate shop and buying like 10 decks just to hang them as wall hangers. Like,
sure.
I just want like the coolest stuff that I like, and this kind of represents it.
Yeah,
so.
That's awesome.
And then everything over here is just kind of random, just stuff that I like. We got French Bulldogs. We have Praying Hands. As far as Powell goes, like I love the Ripper. Always have loved the Ripper. But that Chains series is my favorite ever. I'm still missing 3 total. Just stuff I grew up on.
It's amazing.
A lot of that wall there is motorcycle inspired, hot rod, motorcycle stuff. Some John Cardiel stuff over there. And Caballero, of course. Legend.
Of course, yeah.
So he's still an active motorcycle rider, motorcycle racer, still shredding. So I have some of his more unique like motorcycle
Right.
type stuff. So I can't collect every pro skateboarder's deck. You know? So.
For me, it would be like I would get one of each pro skaters, not every one of each
Fair.
pro skaters. But
Yeah.
it's amazing. Yeah.
So, but yeah, I'm gonna try to keep that side, mostly motorcycle stuff. I have a lot of Max shaft stuff from Reel, his 4Q series stuff. Max is a legend in like the chopper scene, so a lot of his Reel skateboards are based around motorcycle stuff. So I'm just waiting for the day that I have to move stuff around and go to the next row. Gotta pick a slow week to knock it out. So.
That's the scary part, is you have so much real estate on your walls.
Yeah.
That you almost know inevitably, like.
Well, and I don't want to do like, oh, there's 3 random ones up there. I want it to look nice and complete. So I just take my time, and eventually I got to get like fed up with business and life and kids, and I'm like, all right, I'm going to hang boards for a week. Leave me alone. You know, like, crank up the music and just hang skateboards. So.
How fun.
But yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, as far as down here goes, I love Eric Dressen. He's a tattoo artist. He's into hot rods. Some of the more desirable Screaming Hand stuff, as far as the feet and the Jim Phillips versions, those 2 there.
Eric Dressen is the coolest because
He's so cool.
He seems badass, like, and he is. I'm not saying he's not.
Yeah.
But I've met him a few years back, and then when I was a kid, I saw him skate and got his autograph. But he is like the most humble, like gentle, like kind, just
Super
like
quiet.
friendly, like like. He is so rad. Like, then you get him on a skateboard, and it's like
He's gnarly.
Like, yeah.
Yep. I had another guy telling me that was his favorite skater growing up, and he's seen him for the first time in like 88 or something.
Okay.
In Germany at a demo.
Oh, wow. Huh.
And he was like, he was doing the gnarliest stuff anyone's ever seen in Germany before. And I was like, yeah, like I didn't know much about him from all the way back in the day. So all the stuff that I've learned is just from watching YouTube videos, on watching interviews with him and that kind of stuff. And yeah, absolute legend. I love it because he's heavily involved in tattoos. So my goal is to get a tattoo from him someday.
That would be amazing.
Yep. So I like to collect his stuff, and his stuff's always very West Coast, Latino, tattoo, hardcore inspired. So the chains and the tattoo Screaming Hands and the flip up bills, and just kind of fits that vibe. Like this board right here, it's like, this just screams, this is a tattoo.
Yeah,
It's flash artwork, you know?
I mean,
That's
you
amazing.
imagine that like stenciled on the side of some church, like you know, Los Angeles.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what he's all about. Yep. So I really like that aspect of it. So I try to collect a lot of his stuff. I have a lot more of his stuff upstairs to hang, but that's for the next row. So in the storage area right now.
All right, Kyle, thank you so much for sharing your shop here with us. These boards are amazing. Your history of like what inspired you in the first place, and kind of like your motivation for picking different boards is really cool. If people want to learn more about you, whether it's with the motorcycles or the skateboards, what's the best way for them to find you?
We have a website, foreverrad.com, Instagram, Forever Rad. We're super active, and we're all over the place. So
Awesome.
easy to find.
Very
I appreciate you
cool.
coming out. It's an absolute pleasure to meet
worth it.
both of you guys.
Yeah.
So.
We were both stoked. Like we were talking about it on the way here, like just how excited we were to see you.
So my goal next is we can maybe do some skateboarding together.
Yeah,
right? I mean, that's the whole point of this. So.
Right on. Yeah.
Heck yeah.
All right. Thanks, guys. We'll see you in the next video.